Hey everyone, welcome to the Bitcoin video today. It is the end of the day on May 8th, 2020. It is about 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time here in the United States. Before I get into any of this analysis, this is not financial advice. I am not your financial advisor. You are responsible for your own trades, managing your own risk, and doing your own research. I'm just giving my opinion on the market. Always has been, always will be. So again, if you want access to our Discord, feel free to just throw in a comment here in the YouTube chat. I'll be more than happy to get an invite code out to you. We are doing a live chat on the Discord this evening at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. So in about 4.5 hours from now, we're going to be doing a live chat on the Discord. So be there tonight in the Hangouts in the Discord server. And, we're just going to have a good time, maybe talking a little bit about markets, but just, really just trying to keep continuing to build the community. So yeah, I guess thanks to Kryptonite on the server for kind of bringing it up and kind of bringing us all together. So I'm looking forward to it. All right, enough of that. That was a minute of nonsense. Let's get into the meat and potatoes here. We are talking about the end being near. All right, so is the end near? Yeah, I think it is. I think it is. We know that the halving, which we have been tracking for a long time now, is happening. After this weekend, I believe Monday is the day. And so what are we looking at here for a move to the upside? All right, well, there's a couple things here, and this is very similar to some things that have been brought up in other servers, in other videos. And so what I want to do is I want to take a look at this. I've actually put together a more comprehensive, complex count off of this. I know there's a lot here, right? But at a high level, we had from the bottom here 3100, 3125, right? 3121 on BitMEX. We had a nice 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 impulse to the upside. All right. And then from there, we have our big correction that we had been watching. All right. So we've got basically a W, and then we have a triangle into the X, and then we go down here into the Y. And a lot of people were really quick to put the X right here. So this X right here, they were quick to put that right back there. That didn't make a whole lot of sense to me at the time. And now that things have resolved, it makes a little more sense to put that back here. All right, because the time it takes, it takes time to complete the W, it takes a little while longer to complete the X. Then we complete the Y, and then we have to take a little bit longer to complete that X. So we have a nice expanded flat A, B, C, and to complete this X up here. Now what do we have? All right, well, we've got an A, because we came down in 5 waves, A, and then we've got a nice WXY, A, B, C, whatever you want to call it, right? We have 5, 3, working on the 5, and then we're going to come down again. All right, so we've got 2 areas to watch as we come down. And I apologize, I know this chart is very, very messy. There's just a lot on here, a lot of different scenarios. All right, so this level over here, I want to pay attention to this. So for that reason, I'm going to bring this guy over because I think he is very important for us. So let's just pull him right over here. And on top of that, I'm going to pull him down. Pull him down right there. That's going to be at about 6,400. 6,400. All right, that's going to be important for us. 6,400 is because from this perspective, if we have a left shoulder, a head, and then our right shoulder, it would be perfect for it to come down here. This is kind of where we're expecting things to go, right? But the big question is, where are we going to go first before we go down? Because we are going to go down. There is no doubt in my mind that we are going to go down. The charts don't just go up and nothing else, right? Of course, a lot of people would like for them to just go up and nothing else. And they honestly, they have been ever since the 13th of March. I've been bullish since the 13th of March. You guys all know this. I created a whole almost hour-long video, and you can look at it. I posted it on the 13th or the 14th of March. It was called Capitulation. You can take a look in the history. I've been very bullish since we had that capitulation back here. All right. So if this is an A and then we do a WXY into a B, then we should come down to a C. But what we've got here is we've got a nice clean now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to complete this W. Right. Oh, come on. Come on, TradingView. There we go. to complete the W, 5. And then we have a 3 wave down here to complete the X. And this could be considered an A and a B. Now, what I've got here next, this is important. This little guy right here, let me just redraw this so you can see what I'm doing here. I'm going to pull out my trend-based fib extension. We're going to be looking for parity. So I'm going to magnet the bottom of that wave. I'm going to come up here to the top of this wave. And then I'm going to come down to the bottom of this wave. So again, I've got 2 points here that I'm trying to pivot. I've got this point up here, which let me just get him perfect up there at the top of that 5. And then I've got this level down here, which I'm pretty close. I'm close enough. It's okay for me. All right, so now we're going to expect a 100% parity to the upside, okay? So again, that's going to be our either A or a W, and then an X or a B. And then we're going to look for 100% move to the upside, which is at $10,332.50, okay? 10,332.50 is where I believe the top of this is going to be, 10,332.50. Maybe we get a front run. Maybe we don't get quite that high. Maybe we get a truncation. That's very, very possible. But what I can definitely see here, and I've been looking at this and I just have been struggling with it for so long. This is clear that this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into the 1, A, B, C into the 2. And then from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into the 3, A, B, C into the 4, and then we're working on 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we go up for a 5th. We are going to go up just a little bit more in my opinion. It probably happened this weekend. It probably will happen before the halving. I would not be interested in holding any Bitcoin before the halving. That is just my opinion, right? Just my opinion. Wouldn't be holding any Bitcoin right before the halving. So a couple things, a couple events that I can remember in the past. Litecoin went through a fork, right? I think it was like February of 2018. Let me see if I can go back there. I don't know if the charts go back that far. I just want to take a look back here and I'm trying to remember exactly when it was when we had the halving, not the halving, the fork here. I think it was right back here around February 20th or so. Big push up prior to it. This was on February the 14th. And then sure enough, we fell. We fell significantly. We came all the way back to the previous bottom. Okay, that is important for us right now. That is very important for us right now because what did we do here? What did we do here? Let's just go ahead and see what we did. I'm going to pull out my fib tool. All right, I'm just using this because history doesn't always repeat itself, but a lot of times it rhymes. People hear that kind of crap all the time. All right. So from the top to the bottom, we came to the 50%. We got rejection, clear rejection off of 50%, and then we came all the way back, all the way back. All right. So let me pull up Bitcoin on a different chart just so that things are nice and clear here. All right. So we've got our daily chart. Pull this out, and let's just take a look here. One thing that is important for us here is taking our tool from the top and pulling it all the way down here to the bottom, and we are sitting at the 618. We haven't quite pushed through it, but we are going to push through it. But I'm going to be paying attention to somewhere between the 618 and the 65. Okay, somewhere between the 618 and the 65. I'm not going to pay attention to the 50, the 382. Any of these other extensions are really not relevant at the time or at the moment, but this zone right here is going to be important to us. Very possible that this does take a couple more days here. I'm not really expecting it to take more than a couple days. I do believe we're probably going to fall. And if we do, right, so again, let's just keep this real simple. I'm going to keep this real simple here. If we've got a W, triangle X, Y, A, B, C into the X, A, B, C into the Z. Maybe we come back down for a double bottom. All right, that's going to be right here. Let's go ahead and mark that off, right? That's going to be at like 31.50, and I could totally see this happening. If we're taking a look at a timing scenario, right? Timing scenario, if we do push up above this, how long would it take for us to come down here and hit this median right there on the end of July, July 31st, all right? What do we know about July 31st? All right, well, one, it's the end of a month. Two, The other thing that we've got there is futures, right? So futures are going to close in at the end of June, right? So we've got futures ending at the end of June, which means we're going to have new quarterly futures that are going to be starting up, and typically they follow trend for the duration of that futures contract. So, so we're going to be keeping an eye on that. I do think we're probably going to move down. I'm going to be keeping an eye right here, right? So we talked about this right here at about 6,400. Keep an eye on that, because what we potentially have here is our left shoulder, our head, and our right shoulder, right? So this is also something that we have to be paying attention to. Okay, very possible that we're creating a nice inverted head and shoulders, and it's going to just launch right up out of here, right? It's very possible that happens. I do believe we are going to probably pull back at least to 6,400, but a lot of people are going to be paying attention to 6,400. So either we're going to get there or we're going to fall right through it, which is very possible that we do fall right through it. I think it'll probably take some time. I think we've got a good 2.5 months before we get there, because again, talking from right here, let me get this here, pull out this tool, from where we are right now to all the way down there, we're talking about 83 days. Okay, so that's a long time. A lot of things can happen between now and then. A lot of people are going to be super bullish. So I would expect that there is going to be some successful distribution happening up here. And then we're either going to have some accumulation right here or some major accumulation down here, back in the same zone, coincidentally, the same zone that we had right back here. So let's just pay attention to this area right here. Obviously we tested it here, and obviously there was a nice bullish reaction off of it. So if we come back down here again, I would expect it to go inside of it, and then I would expect there to be a push to the upside. And if we're going to go ahead and get all the way down here, we might as well get on the other side of it, right? Which is why I'm thinking that it's very possible that we do test this low again to try and catch stops, because you have to believe there is going to be a ton of stop losses on the other side of this pivot right here. So buy carefully here. If we do happen to come all the way down here, if you're not going to short up here, no, that's fine, right? If you want to sit in cash, nothing wrong with that at all, right? Nothing wrong with taking profit, nothing wrong with sitting in cash. Buying up here, you know, you have the potential for reduced return on investment, right? So if you're going to sit in cash and wait for this thing to come back, you know, your first area to pay attention for this to come back to is going to be about 64 to 6,500. If it falls through this, watch out, because we're probably coming back down to 3,000. All right. And if this is going to be a golden zone rejection from this entire move right here, then we're probably going to come all the way back down to potentially all the way out this way, which takes us all the way out to the end of December, which could potentially take us even lower. Okay, so I'm not going to get super bearish right now, you guys. Obviously, the markets are extremely bullish right now. I want to give you another perspective that this could mean that we are going even lower. But I am going to take my first risk here on buying long positions and spot positions here at 6,400, seeing how that goes. But I'm going to be quick to get out if I need to, and I'm going to be looking to get back in here on these lows here. Longer term, it's going to be fine. Longer term, I mean, buying here, you're really, you know, willing to give a lot back to the market, in my opinion, because it is going to come back in the longer term. It's going to come back down here in the longer term. We just have to kind of wait and see what happens. So I hope this video did help you guys. I would expect that we're probably going to have a little bit of movement up to maybe 10,125 to 10,300, but from there I think we're going to get a quick rejection off of that. So I would just be very careful. And also, you know, me personally, I'm not going to be sitting in Bitcoin prior to the halving. I'm going to be sitting mostly in cash. I might hold on to some alts just in case, but for the most part, I am going to be exposed short, if you will, whether cash, if you consider cash short, that's where I'm going to be sitting. So that's what I've got for right now. I hope you guys are going to have a good weekend, and I will catch you all later. And again, we're going to be on the Discord this evening at about 9 p.m. for some chat and some good camaraderie. I hope to see you there, and wherever you're in the world, I hope you're having a good day, good night, good evening.